What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Subnautica Below Zero. In the last episode, we met up with Marguerite at her greenhouse all the way off in the East Arctic, and she told us essentially what Sam's plan was, how she knew Sam, all that kind of stuff. Basically gave us a good lead on what to do next. In this episode, we're going to be following up on that lead by actually finally going on dry land and venturing out there. But before I do that, really quickly, I need to show the fruits of my labor. Ha! Fruits. Get it? Because they're plants. Yeah, but I grabbed a bunch of stuff from Marguerite's greenhouse, and I built myself a little renewable resource system here. And let me just say, I've broken the game. I have officially broken the game. Or I guess I should say Unknown Worlds broke the game with this system. Now, having food that was regrowable in the first game was alright, but I actually didn't find it to be that necessary. In this game, it just completely just breaks the whole resource system in half. So I got Chinese potato plants. These are probably the least useful, but we do have them just kind of to grab whenever we come back from a long journey. We also got marble melons, pepper trees, which if you remember, these were growing in the caves outside of the greenhouse, and then also Preston's plant. This plant right here and the pepper tree, and actually the marble melons, are the most important. Let's talk about these for a second. So first of all, marble melons. I'm specifically growing these because these are the most efficient resource for the bioreactor. So I will be able to basically keep these on infinite cooldown and constantly fill up my bioreactor so I never run out of fuel. I don't have to go out hunting for fish again. If you want to see how this works and how you're supposed to grow these things, you want to grab a 3, like so, and you can see the planters are all empty. And on the last one, hit it with your knife. This will generate 4 seeds, which you can then put into each of the planters, and they will grow 3 more marble melons right back. Now, my bioreactor is full at the moment, so I'm actually not going to use these marble melons. That was just more of a demonstration than anything. These will all have grown by the time we get back from our trip in this one. Now, let's talk about Preston's plant and the fevered pepper tree. Now, the fevered pepper and the Preston's Delight are already okay in their own right, and I did not mean to actually do that. Can I grab this? They're so tiny. It's hard to do that. I'm going to actually... Well, I guess I can't, so I'm going to have to eat you. But, fevered pepper and Preston's Delight, they're already right. They're already okay. The fevered pepper, plus 34 body heat, 15 food, 15 H2O. Not bad. Preston's Delight, it's okay. However, I want to talk about the real utility that these things have. So, if you grab a fevered pepper, and then you grab not Preston's Delight, but you actually hit the plant with your knife, you will be given a leaf, Preston's plant leaf. It says good in salads. We're going to take this leaf and this pepper over to the fabricator. This is what breaks the game. This is what I'm talking about when I said we have just completely destroyed this game's resource system. Spicy fruit salad. You need 1 pepper and 1 leaf for it. That's it. It's very, very simple. By the way, you can get like 8 leaves from each of those plants. Let me show you what this fruit salad does. Plus 100 body heat, plus 85 food, plus 30 H2O. Guess what? You're good for the rest of the game. That is all you need. It pretty much just fills everything up. You have those and a couple of water filtration systems going. You are never going to run into problems ever again, and I mean that sincerely. Now, the only thing to keep in mind is that Preston plants cannot give you unlimited leaves. If you hit it so many times, and I'll actually demonstrate this, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a... Preston's Delight, if I can. Come on now. There we go. I'm going to actually hit this a few times to get leaves. Like this. Let me actually grab a second one, just because I'm actually going to use it for both. Keep hitting that for leaves, and eventually... Come on. It's going to completely knock the whole thing out. So now we have 2 open slots in our grow bed. What we're going to want to do is just put new Preston's Delights in there, and that should grow some more plants. There we go. Just make sure you have an actual fruit on hand. And now we have a ton of leaves. I'm actually going to refill this thing back up because, well, geez, like I can make all of the spicy fruit salads in the world. Just don't get too greedy with the fevered peppers. They will all grow back on their own. I mean, you really only need to be carrying like 2 or 3 of these at any given time anyway, and you're set for the rest of the game. It's got better water value than anything except for the large filtered waters. It's got a better food value than anything in the game, and it instantly refills your body heat to max. What more could you want? I'm not even kidding when I say it breaks the game. So that's what I did between episodes. I also did make a single outdoor grow bed that I should probably show off here really quickly, and that's up here. And wouldn't you know it, all I grew were a bunch of ribbon plants, which we're going to be using for batteries. So now I have an unlimited battery source. I mean, if I needed those. It's not like I really do, though, because I have the battery charger. Now, we're going to get into our sea truck, and we are going to be taking a trip in this episode. We're going to be spending the next couple episodes, in fact, on dry land. It's about time we freaking do that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to kind of head straight northwest. Just trust me on this. Even west by northwest. And as soon as you come across this green light, you will notice that there is one of these little tentacle things, these alien wires and tubes. We're going to just follow this a ways. Just a little bit of a ways. Not the whole way, but we're just going to want to kind of keep this in our sights. And as soon as we do that, you will notice we're going to start to run into these jellyfish out here, or eye jellies as they're called. We're going to keep following this path all the way along the way, and you're going to notice that a bunch of glaciers are now forming above us. And you can also see that the tentacle starts to come down off of it. We're going to go back to following it again. So just kind of stick with it for a little bit longer. And as that goes down, and we just sort of follow the path, we're going to want to sort of turn inward here. And once you have hit in this spot and you see, where is it? See, there's like a little glowing doorway down there, although we can't actually go through it because it's frozen solid. There's a little doorway over there. That's how you know you're in the right spot. And we're going to want to come up to this lip right here in the ice, and there is a contraption up above it. We're just going to park the sea truck here. Don't worry, these eye jellies will not mess with the sea truck at all. They are passive, but if you do touch them, they will hurt you, so keep that in mind. I'm going to scan this guy, but I'm not going to get too close to him. And then we can add him into our databanks. All right, so here we go. This is how dry land works. So we've already seen it on the Delta Station. You're going to be constantly losing body heat. But once you start getting into areas like this, those plants that restore our body heat, they are not up here at all. So instead, you're going to need to use these steam vents to keep your body heat up. And these are only on periodically. You can't rely on them all the time. So you're going to want to make sure that you time them correctly as you move about the glacial basin, which is what this area is called. Now, the glacial basin is, for the most part, pretty darn safe. There's not really a whole lot you have to worry about out here, except for, again, regulating your body heat. So you can go through this area kind of with reckless abandon. Just be on the lookout for things. Take that. JT music, don't hold your breath. We'll have to get a jukebox at some point and put some music on in our base. That would be great. But I'm going to run over to this geyser really quickly, replenish my body heat, just only a little bit, I guess. And I'm actually going to go up this way first. There's a few things to check out up here. Now, if we remember correctly, we will actually hear that the places we've been to thus far, Sam didn't work at any of those. Her colleagues did, but that's not actually where Sam worked at. Sam worked at a place called the Robotics Data Center.
Significance beyond this bridge. It was important to Ultera, but more important to me.
Will it help us build you a body?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure we scan this ruptured hydraulic fluid. There we go. Now we can actually make hydraulic fluid. We'll talk about how you do that a little bit later. Of course, that geyser ran out on me on the perfect time. Thank you very much. Okay, there's another geyser over this way, and if I absolutely have to, I can always eat one of the spicy fruit salads. Don't run out on me. No! Hurry! Oh, it's not going to last. Okay, we got it. We're good. Whew. All right.
Facility beacon detected nearby. Unique identifier. Robotics Center.
And that is where Sam worked. So we're going to want to head on over this direction. We'll put in the hydraulic fluid a little bit later to be able to extend that bridge. But for the time being, this is where we're going to be going. And this is actually, we're going to be spending almost the entirety of this episode. Now, whenever you go in caves, obviously, body heat regulated. We've gone over this before. Something to keep in mind. But we're just going to kind of follow this path over this way. There are actually fevered peppers in here as well, should you want to grab them. Now, water isn't going to be too much of an issue because there's disinfected and filtered water everywhere in any of these Altera locations. But this is the Robotics Data Center. There's a big door over there. There's a landing pad over there. I know it's a little dark right now, but trust me, this is the place. So we're going to want to head on inside and make sure we have our scanner at the ready. Also, watch out for those icicles. So in here, body heat, not an issue. So right here, we got a Snow Fox hover pad fragment. Make sure you grab that. Very important. Grab a battery as well. Good, good. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Let's see.
Blueprint synthesized.
Sam loved working here with her spy pinglings.
Do all humans like work?
The lucky ones do.
Are you lucky?
I used to think I was.
Okay, so we're going to want to scan more of these Snow Fox fragments. Remember, we got one back at Marguerite's base, so that is important. By the way, we are going to be actually venturing back to Marguerite's base here in the future, so something to keep in mind.
Purification tablets can create drinkable water as you explore the snowy surface.
This must have been Sam's room. But something's not right.
Sorry, the game's doing a lot of talking. As we head in here, I'm actually going to let the game do most of it because there's a lot of data points we're going to grab, a lot of things I need to scan. The water purification tablet's pretty simple. You have one of these, you grab some snow off the ground, you can make large filtered water on the spot, pretty good. Personally, I would rather just have large filtered water on me, but I guess if you come here really early on in the game, these can be pretty useful. They're very easy to make. The plants that you use to make them are all over the place in this area, the frost vase plants, and then salt deposits. You just need to grab some of those, which can obviously be gotten as early as need be. Those are some pearls, huh? All right, well, let's start playing all of these PDAs, and you guys can get a little bit of the story while I search around this facility.
Hi, you. How's everything at Pengling Central?
Oh, fine. But I haven't heard anything since giving the footage to Zeta. It's been, what, a week?
Did she promise you a report?
No, but I expected some kind of reaction. Maybe I should take it up with Emmanuel. It is Kara, after all, and it could cause a lot of suffering if it got out.
Why would it get out? We have professional containment and know how to neutralize it in an emergency. Sam, I love you, but you don't know what you're talking about.
You love me? Wait, why do you know so much about this?
It's my area of research.
Why are you being evasive?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you something, and then you have to drop this crusade you're on before you damage your career. We're researching the bacteria.
What kind of research are you doing?
I don't want you worrying about this. We are aware of the possible downsides, but they're far outweighed by the potential. That's as much as I can tell you. Sam.
I need to think. I have to go.
Okay, next data point I'm going to grab is going to be the one in Zeta's room, so let's take that one. Oh, that one actually is one I have to read. Okay, the T in team. Practicing mindfulness as a leader. Your team is a sponge, just waiting to soak up the energy you bring into the room. Think of yourself as a teapot leader. You have the power to saturate your team with soothing warmth and healing. You also have the power to burn them. The key to infusing those who follow you with calm is to manage the calm within yourself first. That is the power of mindfulness in leadership, which we'll discuss further in the next chapter. But first, let's explore another element of leadership that often goes overlooked, the steeping time. Once you've poured your healing magic over your team, you must wait for the oils and essences from the tea leaves to adapt to their new environment and become fragrant and fully realized. There is power in a healing leader, but a patient healing leader is unstoppable. Gotta love those self-help books. Okay, let's hear another one.
Hey, Sam. Oh, hey there, Pengling buddy.
Hi, Fred. What brings you this way?
I was just passing by. Lillian wanted a hand with a deep dive out in the bridges. You know, I think she's right. There is some weird stuff out there.
The clicking sound?
SOS. I heard it with my own ears.
So you think she's right? There's intelligent life down there?
I don't know. I'll leave that to you scientist types.
This scientist is more at home with these penglings. But if my sister was here, she'd be all over this.
Wait, are you telling me you're not the brains in the family?
Oh, my family has many different brains. Like
A hydra?
Well... Oh, yeah, actually, I like that analogy. Makes it hard to get along sometimes, but it's never dull.
I like Fred. I like him a lot. But evidently, they actually heard Alan for themselves, which is a little bit interesting. All right, play another one.
Hey, guys, I'm so glad you're here.
Where else would I be? Like I'd miss Fred being exposed as the alien intruder.
That's not gonna happen.
But you didn't say you were not the intruder.
No, not this argument again. I beg you.
I think the game will settle this debate.
So, I just want to ask you something quick before Zeta gets back and we start playing. It's about the cavern with the frozen Leviathan. I investigated, and
You investigated? When? I didn't see you.
maybe you were asleep or busy doodling inappropriate sea creatures.
Those drawings are art.
Anyway, I've looked into it, and I think we have reason to be concerned. It wasn't that long ago this planet was uninhabitable. But if we work together, we can get them to put an end to the Kara mutation experiments.
I'm not comfortable with this.
Samantha, you're paranoid.
Come on now. You're Sam out. She has our safety at heart.
And the rest of us don't?
Zeta!
Can we play the game now?
Fine.
Oh, I like Parvon with the big. It's called hentai and it's art energy. That's hilarious. All right, last one we're gonna grab here, and then we're gonna head on out.
Oh, you brought a friend.
Spy pangling in training. We're recording audio. Is that okay?
Of course. I have the photos you sent. What am I looking at here?
Kara pustules on the frozen Leviathan.
That's nothing to worry about in and of itself. It's well contained.
The ice samples suggest it's been frozen since the time of the outbreak. The strain made the planet uninhabitable. If it mutates,
Are you feeling unsafe?
very.
If I escalate this issue for you, will you feel comfortable enough to concentrate again? I have deadlines for the Snow Fox and the mining bots coming up. I really need your focus on the penglings.
Oh, yeah. That's a relief, actually. I was expecting more of a fight.
Nothing is more important than our safety. I'll take care of it, okay?
Thanks. I won't let you down.
Thanks, Sam. Keep up the good work.
Zeta seems cool at least, which is good. All right, we're going to grab this, and then I'm going to grab this PDA here, which I believe is just a log about the penglings. Spy penglings are creating so many research opportunities. They're perfect for exploring tight spaces I can't squeeze into. Little pockets hiding lots of resources. The penglings can't carry much, but as an added bonus, the local fauna seem to generally ignore them. My little robot friends are too cute to get destroyed. Okay, so we've learned a little bit about them. We're going to need to come back to this place at some point with the spy penglings. I actually believe I did miss something inside the base, though, so let me go check in there really quickly, because I just realized I didn't scan something that was super essential. And, yeah, there's no way it's not in there, because this is the place you're supposed to get it. But let's head on inside again really quickly. I also need to get more of those Snow Fox fragments, if possible. We need at least one more, because we're going to need it if we're going to venture out into the more treacherous biome in the above ground area. There it is, cold suit fragment. So this will actually prevent us from getting cold when we come back out this way. But the problem is that to make it, we're going to need Snowstalker fur, as well as fiber mesh, but Snowstalker fur, which is something that we're going to have to figure out how to get in the due time, and the spy penglings are going to be essential to that. So we're going to need to bring one of those back here soon, but I'm not going to be leaving this area until I actually get myself the last of the Snow Fox fragments, and then we're going to worry about going back to our base and generating all of that, as well as the spy pangling itself, before we come back here again. We're going to be kind of bashing our head against a wall going further into the glacial basin over time. Now, I'm going to go up this ladder here. This is another area that's more or less safe. I do believe there are some Snowstalkers over this way, and yes, we are going to start running into more of those. Snowstalkers, if you don't know what I'm talking about, are Preston. Preston is a Snowstalker, and he is the only tame one in the game. The rest of them will attack you if you're not careful, so do keep that in mind. I'm going to go up this way.
Seek shelter.
Okay, we'll go down in the below area in a minute, but I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything here. I don't need all this titanium. As good as that stuff is, there's a ladder that allows us to go down. So let's take that without falling through the cracks. Otherwise, we're going to get ourselves pretty badly hurt here. Let's take this down. Once we go, I believe, to the lower level, we will be warming right back up again. Yep. All right, let's see. Grab that. Very nice. And then a flare that I definitely don't want. Flares don't even, like, warm you up, which I think is ridiculous. I'm going to eat and drink a little bit of that just for some space. But I'm looking for, there's a cave exit here somewhere. And I just got to find that. That leads to another part of the basin we haven't been in yet. while I continue to look for those snow fox fragments. I know I need to end the episode here in a second, and I will, but if I can find it, and yep, this is what leads the way in where these bones are at. There is, in fact, I want to say a snow stalker in here. Hello! Okay, we are going to want to go around this guy, if possible. Let's not cause a fuss. But if I'm not mistaken, he has dropped some... I didn't want the snow. He has dropped some fur that we can actually have. Okay, he's chasing us. Now, you can fight back. Wouldn't recommend it, though. Definitely would not recommend it. Because he will deal out a lot of damage. Each hit, I believe, does a quarter of your health. And there is our snow fox fragment. Oh, he is still chasing me. Okay, I don't think he leaves the cave, though, so we should be fine. Let's actually use the water for purification tablet there just to show the large filtered water we got out of that. Pretty great. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is, like, another platform we can go to. He is just watching me. Yeah, go back. Go back. I want to say there's, like, one more platform we can go to that has some stuff on it that we're going to want to grab before we get out of here. But let's head up this way. Okay, so this takes us back in here, so not what I was thinking. The actual robotics launch platform doesn't really have anything of value on it, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Just going to kind of make my way back. We're going to go over to this geyser in particular to warm up here. There we go. Yeah, the landing platform is kind of only meant to be there for the sake of just showing you how to get to the robotics center itself. But down we go. All right. And let's see here. Go over this way. I just can't remember where that last area is. I'm trying to figure it out. It's, and I guess I could, like, no, I guess I'll leave that beacon there. I just don't really need it anymore because I kind of grabbed everything I needed to. This is kind of where they do their launching from. Wow, that was a really weird physics interaction there. Take this really quickly before we go. I mean, I'm about to go into a cave anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But let's head down further this way, and now that we have the hydraulic fluid, the snow fox, the spy pangling, all that good stuff, we can put all that to work at our fabricator back at the base, which I want to say I have the gel stacks for. Also, we're going to get a new tool here. This is known as a Pathfinder tool. If you ever need to find your way in or out of a cave, it's going to create little arrows like you just saw that were floating above the ground that tell you where to go. That's just if you have a really hard time finding your way around places. I mean, this works underwater too. Personally, I think it's a little bit unnecessary. It's not something I'm going to waste an inventory slot for. Yes, I do get lost, but... And I guess if you get really lost, like very, very, very frequently, and you get a lot of, like, I guess, vertigo and things like that from exploring locations like this, then the Pathfinder tool could be useful to you. But... And I'm not saying I don't get lost either, but I just think it's a little bit unnecessary. All right, let's go down here. We got another PDA thing over here. What's this one?
Zeta, I have kind of a funny question for you. Have you picked up any kind of unusual interference during any of your robotics work?
You mean like Parvin looking over my shoulder and telling me I'm assembling my circuits wrong because it's not how his dad did it back in the day?
No, like electrical interference in the audio or video. Any kind of flickering or clicking.
Huh, can't say that I have. Why?
Oh, so it doesn't extend as far as the bay.
What doesn't?
When Fred was bringing me for my eval, we detected something, almost like an SOS.
At Delta? How retro. What was causing it?
I think architects are trying to communicate with us.
You always think that.
Look, it may be my job to always think that, but I'm very good at my job. Not that HR seems to care.
I won't breathe a word of this to Emmanuel.
Thanks. You're a good friend.
Zeta's kind of a sweetheart. I like her. Guys, we're going to call that an episode. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much. In the next episode, we're going to get back. We're going to get to work on most of this stuff, getting that spy pangling put together and other things, and I'll go over some of this stuff as well once we get back there. I never actually talked about things like the thermos and whatnot, but we'll worry about that then. So, guys, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much. I will see you all in the next one.